before I get started with this meditation story morning, I want to I want to tell you my meditation story and how it's really helped me. It really, really has helped me. I have been meditating for almost 2 years now, and it really has. It's changed my life. I don't want to sound I don't want to sound like I'm exaggerating, but meditation has changed my life. So my hope is that you might enjoy it too. So before we get started with the meditation, Morton's not going to be joining us. He's in bed, and he's had to get up with alarms his whole life. So he's in bed, and Morton has never meditated before. Morton will hopefully meditate with us one day, not today. So, meditation came into my life Morton's mom passed away January 2nd, 2021. In Scotland, she was all by herself. She'd gotten out of a hospital, she'd had COVID. I thought she was fine. I really did. But anyway, she passed away. Her husband, his dad, was in the hospital due to come home. Couldn't come home because there was nobody at his house now. So I decided I was going to go over and be there, be there for him. It's a really long story. I'm not going to tell you that. What I am going to tell you, I never felt more disconnected from myself or my life. I was in a situation that I had no control over, none. And remember, this is during the pandemic. I was quarantined, I was isolated, I was 3,000 miles away from Morton and living in his house that he grew up in. I was sleeping in Morton's childhood bedroom. And I was like the loneliest person on the planet. Like it's like making me sad thinking about it. I can't go there. But one night, no, it was just me, Morton's dad. That was it in this house. And I was sleep deprived. His dad would need me a lot during the night and a lot during the day, and I wasn't sleeping, and I just started to panic. Everything was out of control. I was so far away from, my business, my home, my husband, my family. I was so far away from everything. I might as well been on the moon. And one evening or morning, it was about 2:30 in the morning, I was sleeping upstairs in Morton's old bedroom in Scotland, and the living room was now his dad's bedroom. And his dad started calling me. I'd been asleep. I needed to go down, and sometimes it was, what time is it, or what day is it? And because he's a stroke victim as well, a really bad stroke. Anyway, I went up to the bed, and I was so tired. I thought for sure if I went to sleep, I would stay sleeping for the rest of my life. But I couldn't go to sleep. I laid back down, and I couldn't. My heart started to race. I couldn't breathe. I was having a panic attack, I think. And I was really thinking about, like, do I dial 999 for myself? In Britain, you dial 999. Over here, you dial 911. But I was in a panic. So I couldn't breathe. So I start looking, like you do, online. Can't breathe, what do I do? And, I'd heard mindfulness, I heard meditation. We had someone that stayed with us that meditated every day that was amazing. And I wanted to do it with her. I never did. Our lovely friend Chaitali from India. Anyway, I don't remember if it was a man or a woman. I don't remember what it was, but I do remember I clicked on this video. So the video started talking about breathing, which of course, like I wasn't breathing at the time. I was, but I wasn't like, I was feeling like, I can't breathe. So they started talking about, I'm gonna try to do this for you with a visual, without being a horrible visual. They started about breathing where you feel it in your chest. And I just started there. Feel it in the top of your chest. Get your breath there. Then and I always thought, yeah, of course, that's where you breathe right here. You expand your lungs, you let them out. I thought that was something we all know. Then they started talking about breathing from your belly. I'm sitting down right now, and I'm in my pajamas. I'm not going to stand up to illustrate my belly expanding for you, but I put my hands on my stomach. I was actually laying down when all this was happening. So put my hands on my stomach, and I took breath in, and I'm like, oh, you can breathe from your stomach. So if you put your hands on your stomach and try to make your stomach go out. We're always taught, hold your stomach in, suck your stomach in. I don't do that, but this was purposely trying to make your stomach expand with the breath that you take in. This was a whole new concept for me. And something just like clicked with me with this, and I thought, oh, I like this. My mind was distracted as well from my situation, which I can't stress enough. The situation, it was dire. It was, I think it was the toughest thing I ever went through in my adult life. I think it was really tough. Breathe into your stomach. So then they started talking about breathing in from your sides, like feeling your rib cage expand, right? That was a bit tougher for me to get my head around. I can do it now. Back when I first started, I couldn't. It would just be him in my chest. It would just be here. It would be that part. So that's my introduction to meditation. And what happened was I went through, it was maybe 15 minutes long, this video, which I was not looking at the video. I had my phone sitting beside the bed. I was laying down. I think I'll just lay down and demonstrate. I think I will lay down here to demonstrate. I was laying down like this, right? Oops, sorry. You don't need to see my legs. So I'm laying down like this. Down. And I'm just feeling like my breath from my stomach, my breath from my chest, my breath from my sides. And it was amazing. It was life-changing, actually. But I was still wide awake. So what I did was turn my phone off. I turned my phone off, and I laid there in the dark. And I say dark, it was never dark there. I'm used to the old church we live in here. It's dark. When we turn off the lights, pitch dark in here, and I love that. In Morton's old bedroom in Scotland, oh my goodness, it felt to me like Times Square. It was so bright, street light. It's a house in town, and But I laid there, I closed my eyes, and this is what I remember most. This is what I remembered most. Find my breath. Be aware of my breath, right? That's what I got the most out of it. So just inhale. And I was just inhaling in the top part of my chest and laying down, and I fell asleep. And when I woke up, the sun was out. It was morning. I made it through the night. But it really got me hooked on meditation. So I started meditating all the time. January 2021. Wait, yeah, that's when it was. Maybe 6 to 10 times a day, I would take 10 minutes. 10 minutes was about all I could get a hold of, just like 10 minutes. And I would just sit, and I didn't fuss with, I gotta clear my mind. I gotta good things in, bad things out, all great things, but I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about breathing in and breathing out. That's simple. And I always keep my eyes closed. I always keep my eyes closed. I like to look at something, and I meditate right in this space a lot. And I'll meditate. I'll look at right. Let me show you. Sorry, I can't turn my thing over. There's a cardinal window right behind me. So I like to look at the cardinal. It's the cardinal stained glass window that I made. I like to look at the bright red cardinal and close my eyes. So find your own bright red cardinal. Find something that's like your bright red cardinal. And then just close your eyes. So we're going to do that now. Told you a long story to get to this. Okay, so here we go. I like to just sit. I cannot cross my legs. I'm fat. I'm 59. I'm 60 this year. 60. I'm so excited. But I'm working on crossing my legs. I have really bad osteoarthritis. It's a whole nother thing. But I just sit and get comfortable. Sometimes I meditate while I'm standing up washing dishes. You can meditate anywhere. Just don't meditate when you're driving or doing something that you have to be there, because you can zone out with this. And that's the beautiful thing of it. So this is I'm not going to look at you anymore. I'm just going to meditate. So I'm going to look straight ahead of me here. And I don't have my cardinal here, but I got something that I can look at. This very top of the actually, I'm going to look at there's a lantern that belonged to my parents hanging in the birch tree forest. So I'm going to look at that. And I like to sit with my hands up. I don't know why. Just up on the top of my thighs. I'm going to look at that lantern. It's a happy thing for me. And I'm going to close my eyes. And now I'm going to find my breath. I don't count. I just feel the breath come in. I feel the breath go out. My mind never gets clear. Never. I can't turn it off. And especially right now, and I have to apologize. I'm going to open my eyes. I have to apologize. I have taught thousands of arts and crafts workshops in my life. I have never ever taught meditation. I'm not a meditation instructor. I just maybe want to meditate with you in the mornings. It's part of my routine. And I typically, what happens is, if in the olden days when Morton would leave at 5 a.m. for work, I would meditate up on the mermaid pew. And I would sit there and I would center myself on the church, and I would just 10 to 20 minutes of purely like me time for breathing and focusing on just my breath. just my breath. That's just my goal. That's my only goal. That's my moment of Zen, to be breathing. That's a great goal to have in life, to be breathing. Um, it's a really important goal that we overlook. So, yeah, I just want to apologize. I'm not an instructor. I have never done guided meditations before. I would love to do them. I would love to practice with you. And, but let me just say, seek out other people too, to learn from, if you like it, if it's something you enjoy. I like to just take a minute, and I will do that now. And I typically start with, I breathe in from my chest a couple times. I breathe in from my ribs a couple times. I expand my sides. And then I breathe in from my belly last. So chest, ribs, belly. That's how mine goes. You do you any way you want to, but I do like to sit up straight. I like to pay attention to my posture, and I like to sit comfy. I like to kind of put my shoulders back, and when I took that breath, like I heard my spine go clack, clack, clack in a good way. It's breathing big is so good for your body. But don't hyperventilate. Somebody told me once, they're like, maybe you're just passing out. I meditate to go to sleep too. So just, and this is going to be PS, the craziest meditation video you will ever see in your life. Okay. I have to tell you, my ears just popped. Like if you're coming off of a flight. Breathing. You do whatever you do in the morning, but for me, a good dose of breathing is, oh, it's so good. Okay. And when I do this by myself, I don't get distracted really, because I don't want you just to sit there and, oh, what in the heck is she doing? I'm breathing. So I'm gonna do it just a couple more times. That was what happened when I started breathing from the top. I felt my spine go click, click, click and feel good. And then I just felt this ear pop from just taking in big, big breaths right here. Did it again right in here. I felt like a click, click. It was so good. I'm old and I creak and crack. And I just thought of something. I do the breathing in one spot until I take a couple with no more like good feels happening, where it just feels like, okay, we're good. We're set there. And I just heard another click, so I'm not set up here yet, but I'm gonna move on to here. So here now, you're expanding a different area of your lungs, I think. So you have different feels from this. And normally I don't have my hands here. My hands are normally like this, on top of my thighs. It's a good time too to get your neck stretchies. nothing wonderful happened there. But I think because this part, that part is where a lot of my work happens at. Next part is my stomach. Stomach. Oh. Okay, so let's see. I'm interested to see what's gonna click and crack in my body here. In my rumbly tumbly, which I feel like Winnie the Pooh this morning. I am rumbly in my tumbly. Okay, let's do this. Can you see? It's like my belly that the breath is in. My stomach stopped rumbling. I need to do the breathing in my belly more. I have my mouth open. I think when I do this without a camera going, I keep my mouth closed. I don't know why I'm opening it for this. Just so I look extra silly, I guess. So I do feel benefit from all of them. It's sort of a holistic thing. The top part, the sides, and the stomach. But my most clickety clacking that's going on is from this part. Those deep cleansing breaths feel so good. And ironically, a lot of times, like it just happened here, this shoulder, my shoulder, when I was looking after Morton's dad, he had a fall. He was going to sit on a chair in the kitchen. He's in a wheelchair. He has very limited mobility. He stood up, and this was the day of Morton's mom's funeral that I wasn't able to go to. I was still in quarantine for 2 weeks from entering the UK. So I tried to hold all of his weight with my right arm, and I ended up kind of falling underneath him, but trying to hold him up. And my arm, for several months, I couldn't even raise my arm. Like I could only raise it to here. I have good mobility on it now. So normally, after my meditation, and tomorrow we'll just meditate. Tomorrow I won't tell you my meditation story, but I wanted to share it with you. And if you're coming in on the live late, it'll be forever on YouTube, on our YouTube, if you want to hear the story again. But normally after my meditation, I like to do stretches, and I don't have a set order. I do like open arms and back. I do open arms and up. A little sides, little this. I don't have a set order. I just like to do what feels good for my body, what doesn't hurt for my body. Our bodies are all different. Our minds are all different. But I just think that my mental state when I started meditating, I found like I can go to it anytime. You know the saying, like count to 10 before you get angry. I like to breathe 10 times when I feel like I'm in a stressful situation, because we all get stressed, we all do. And it makes a big difference. So I've been recording this. I've been doing a live on YouTube, hey YouTube, and TikTok, hey TikTok. And I'm gonna end my YouTube now. If you want to see this again, if you came into part of it, make sure you go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. I'm gonna end the YouTube. Oops, can I do that? How do I do that? don't have my glasses on. Thanks, YouTube, for being here.